I don't know if I'm going to wait for people to show up so much as just record this live and then post it. Hopefully I decide not to delete this. I just got back from an event where I wasn't able to hold up the sign. Oh, this sign is probably why this video is being suppressed. Hey. Yeah. So I hope I don't decide to delete this. Hello. I just got back from interrupting Condoleezza Rice and Carol Chris speaking at UC Berkeley. And I actually just wanted to come and decompress and talk about how traumatic it is, like, living with these people or being in contact with people who don't understand that we're in the midst of a genocide, or who don't care, or who support it. Like, there were people telling me to be quiet as I was saying how many children were killed and speaking the truth at an event about free speech. This is an event called Free Speech in the university. And they escorted me out and threatened to call the police on me at this event about free speech with Condoleezza Rice and Carol Christ. And they did escort me out, and then I literally just like sat on the floor and realized I was like completely trembling. And luckily somebody came out to support me. And then after that, as other people continued to rightfully shut down this attempted gathering of genocidal maniacs. Sorry, I don't know what else to say. They then like shoved my friend down, and they hit the back of their head. Like, it actually got violent is my point. And at the point when it got violent, I was already escorted out. So we were waiting in the courtyard, and then they come out and they're like extremely upset, visibly upset, and saying that they got shoved down and hit in the head. They're rubbing the back of their head. And it's almost like, we should expect it, or like we should have known. And they immediately, thank you. Somebody said, speak out, speak on it. It's almost like my feeling was like, oh, like we should have known it would get that violent. And we had agreed that like he should be the person who stay in and record it all because of the nice camera or whatever. But it's like, how do we continue to protect each other? And I was really grateful that a comrade came out after I got escorted out, because I was literally in a state, like a triggered state from speaking so much. And I can't wait till that footage comes out. And this is why I also want to speak to like why I always ask for footage, because like at the end of the day, why do we do fucking shit like this? Because it should be done. Because it's the right thing to do to shut down war criminals, no matter what. Like, it is the right thing to do, even though it's so easy to forget that, because they make it so kind of hard to do that. There was this whole ticketing process, and it's just like, and this whole like security process where they didn't want you to bring in bags and stuff like that. And so they're making it like all sanitized and formalized within their university. We're going to talk about free speech, but we're not going to let just anybody be there. It was ridiculous, and it makes it seem like we shouldn't be, like we should only interrupt here or there, but it's not about convenience. We should always be disrupting the status quo. At the last city council meeting for Berkeley, someone said, it's really disappointing to watch. I'm paraphrasing, like the city council, caller said this on the phone, and you can check Yalla Berkeley Palestine Love. They have recordings of like the whole meeting up. And it's great because city council doesn't leave the recordings of their meetings up because they're fascist. But someone said, it's a shame to see y'all be so ride or die for the status quo. Like, imagine being ride or die for the status quo. And what that means is, what I'm pointing out, what I'm trying to get to, is that it actually results in violence. It's not just like triggering. It's not just like, and it's bad enough that I feel like, sort of re-traumatized. I mean, I'm okay. I'm going to be fine. I'm at home, whatever. I got my tea, I'm going to be fine. But it actually means that they actually became violent. Before the end of the event, they became violent. They fucking shoved someone down to protect their quote unquote, to actually not allow free speech to happen at their free speech event. They became violent to shut down free speech at their free speech event. And it was literally like only a matter of time. Like, we're supposed to expect that, and that's supposed to be normalized. Like, that level of violence is supposed to be normalized. Like, we're supposed to be like, oh, well, like, you shouldn't have, like, oh, well, you shouldn't have tried to shut down a war criminal, Condoleezza Rice. Oh, you shouldn't have tried to speak the truth to Carol Christ, who, as I said, I can't go to my comments because I wrote them on my phone. But, like, y'all should know. She's made a commitment to colonization and land theft. She has continually disrupted the safety and well-being of marginalized people and building community here in Berkeley and at the UC. And then now she's trying to build, like, set up like a legacy on free speech. That's not fucking free speech, honey. That's ridiculous. Supporting genocide is not free speech. And Condoleezza Rice is a war criminal who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent civilians, tens of thousands. So how would it be right to allow them to continue to grandstand and have this event at a public university in a state where the vast majority of us, and also a country where the vast majority of the people are against this genocide, where the free speech movement began as an anti-war movement? Anti-war, and like, we're in the midst of no, like, it would be wrong to not speak out of that on that, and yet in order to try to stop that from happening, they actually became violent. I mean, that's it. I think that's it. You know, and it's like the fact that whether or not the news will actually carry this story or say anything about that, you know, is, we can't rely on that. And so that's why I'm like, yeah, give me the footage, because like somebody's going to remember this. Someone in my lineage is going to keep record of this. Somebody's going to know. Like, this is because it's too much. It's too wrong. That's why I went live. I don't even do lives, but yeah, I had to. Also, like I said, to decompress. Yeah. So free Palestine. We need a permanent ceasefire, not some bullshit, and an end to the Zio-fascist occupation, and also an end to the occupation of the United States, California, Berkeley, the university. I'm really sick of it. And also free People's Park, and come to the anniversary on 420, and support us, support me, support my family. Support the marginalized people in your community. Take radical care, and thanks for listening.